Hey Libra, this is your Samhain read. We're doing the Wheel of the Year. This is, I wanted to get these started a little early, so we're doing it. Happy birthday to you. I took some time off so that I could re-energize. I'm going to start with your song. The format that I'm going to follow is the song. Then we're going to do a Major Arcana card from the Major Arcana Deftones deck, just for an overall theme for your year, because this will be the Wheel of the Year for you. Then we'll get into your spread, which will clarify. Following that, we'll do your Magnetic Poetry and an Oracle card. And then some numbers and signs of significance for you. Oh, I wanted to candle up this time. I should probably get that away from my monitors. I'm working with limited desk real estate. Anyway, I got my monitors. Good song for Libra. A theme for you. Oh, it is Libra's song. It's just my own deck that I made. We could... I could make a million decks like this, honestly. And you can make your own decks. You can get decks of blank cards with backs on them, and you can take Sharpies to them. I will say the edging does transfer to your hands. You've got two songs here. It Hasn't Hit Me Yet by Blue Rodeo and Two Hearts by Kylie Minogue. So two songs of significance for you this year. Watching the snow fall on this cold December night. And somebody's in love, or at least you will be at some point, I believe. Major theme for you this year using the Major Arcana Deftones deck. It's just our Major Arcana cards. It's very small and thin, which is nice. It just cuts right to the chase. So... I'm seeing a field with an outbuilding, so I'm just scrying at the same time here, and a circle, a ring, could be a Ferris wheel, or what was that thing called, the Ring of Fire, but a ring, or an arch, like the St. Louis Archway. I don't know what that's called. Major message, major theme for this year for Libra 2025 through 2026, starting in November. If you didn't know, the Samhain read is something that I used to do just for myself on Halloween. I started doing it a couple of years ago. I think this is my third year doing it for all the collectives. Okay, that was quick. I only take flippers and jumpers, by the way. Lovers in the reverse, a choice is being made. Gemini energy on this, but a choice is being made. A choice must be made. A choice must be made. You're going back and forth on something in realms of the heart this year. I feel like there's been, just thinking of this, there's been some trepidation to, explore the heart space, perhaps. And that energy has been dedicated elsewhere, but you're making a decision. And sometimes that decision can be to dedicate time to oneself instead of to others. There's declarative energy. A feeling as if it's time to shit or get off the pot. I'm hearing that over here. We're going to use the the Santa Muerte Tarot for you, for your main spread. It's hard to shuffle the ones with the thicker cardstock, so we'll be doing it like a child. Oh, that one stuck on the board. Six of Pentacles, time, Unchained Melody, and time, and time could mean so much. Balance. This is your card, actually. Interesting. So it's about achieving balance, looking at where you've dedicated time to other things as opposed to the realm of the heart. This year it's kind of catching up with you. Unchained Melody. Unchained Melody. Libra. Apathy in love, not really knowing which direction to go in, so you kind of stay in the same spot, stagnant. And there's this nagging feeling, always looking in one direction, kind of off to the side, as if you don't want to move that way, but you know it's the right way. It's just when's the time, right? Okay, we'll start with November. I'm not going to actually address the cards until I start to clarify. But November for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. November. Ten, 1, 10. Initiations, endings, and beginnings. Endings and beginnings. Oh, I guess that would be true for you because it's your birth season right now. So you're contemplating endings and beginnings. There could also be a sadness that you're not connecting with somebody romantically, that you don't have that companionship, especially during your birthday season. That seems to crop up for you. You surround yourself with a lot of friends. But you look at your friends and they have all these, like, you know, super deeply fulfilling emotional relationships, and the best that you have is companionship and camaraderie, but no, not that thing. And it hasn't hit you yet. In December it might. November, come on. You don't want to talk. Don't want to talk, all I hear is noise. Looking for somebody to cut through all of that for you. All that extraneous bullshit. All the extraneous bullshit. Who's gonna be the standout? We have 2 cards for November. What are they? I didn't wear my glasses. I probably should have. 5 of Swords in the upright with 2 of Pentacles. Okay. November. 5 of Swords with 2 of Pentacles. December. December. Okay, that's too many. December. December. Libra. Okay. Midnight of Swords in the reverse. January. Tower in the upright. February, Queen of Wands in the upright with 2 of Wands. Okay. March. Knight of Wands. April. Queen of Swords in the reverse. May. Temperance in the reverse. Interesting, because it's a timing card for me. This would be Gemini. So I think it's really interesting that it ended up in May. June for Libra. June. Seven of Swords in the reverse with the Six of Cups in the reverse. That's June. July. Four Cups in the upright. August. August. August for Libra. August for Libra. Is there something happening that's making you smile in August? Something funny in August? Let's see. August. Okay. Six of Wands. Yeah, there's triumph. There's something that's successful for you in August. That's why the smile. September. Oops. We do have one that slipped. Nine of Wands. Okay. And then finally October. The Fool. Okay. That's your season too. Interesting. Okay. Clarifying for you. Now we'll get into the read. Sorry about that. So looking first, let's talk about this. And this is a slippery deck, but you know, I decided to use it because I have to. So first things first, let's talk about it. November. In November, you've got the Two of Pentacles in the upright with the Five of Swords. There's this self-deceptive energy with the Five of Swords. That's what Five of Swords generally means, is that one is lying to themselves about something, fooling themselves in some regard. There's this energy of, fine, I'll take my ball and I'll go home. But there's that denial, you know, denial. Like, yeah, we have all these swords coming at us. It's fine. It's fine. You know, like that meme where you got the cat and he's drinking the coffee and there's flames all around him, but he's like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We're good. And with that, we have the Two of Pentacles. Being of two minds, being ambivalent and ambiguous with your energy. And I think that's because there is no picking of a direction, no choice when it comes to a direction. I always say this about the Two of Pentacles, that as long as you're ambiguous with the universe will be ambiguous with you. That's what's happening here. You're deceiving yourself, thinking that if you don't pick a direction, you're safe. Perhaps. It's interesting that we do see two individuals kind of like, you know, here kind of embracing or kind of, you know, conversing, or I don't know what it is, but it's two sides of the same coin, or, you know, the juggling of two emotions. Deceiving oneself that in there's safety in ambivalence, but also safety in stagnance. You know, like if I don't make any sudden moves, if I don't move at all, then I'm safe. You know, that's not necessarily true, because in that there is a lack of growth. You know, let's clarify November. What is this self-deception? That's easy. It will be easy because these the finish is quite slick on them. Star in the reverse with the Seven of Wands in the reverse. That you can drop your guard because you've done some healing work. You know what path not to follow, Aquarius energy here, but you also have done some healing work. You've emerged from healing here with the star. And as such, you feel like you don't have to be defensive. You don't have to protect yourself from certain things. So you're kind of sitting in a standstill. That's what you're fooling yourself about during November, at least. Moving on to December, we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. This is probably, again, a continuation of the stagnant energy. Knight of Swords in the upright is a lot of impulsivity, impulsive action, moving forward, irresponsible, irrational, Gemini energy there. But in the reverse, we would see this as Sagittarian energy, which I think is really, because I do timing cards like that. Like the reverse is the opposite sign on the zodiac. So during Sagittarius season, I think we could see in December this the stagnance is continuing. Like I said, it's a continuation of what you're encountering during November. Primarily during Sagittarius season, it's as if you feel like because you're not making any sudden movements and you're not being impulsive, that it's actually helping to preserve your safety in some regard. Tell us more in December for the Knight of Swords in the reverse. What are you pause buttoning on or holding off on, taking impulsive action towards? No sudden movements, I'm hearing. It's almost like if you could imagine somebody kind of like slinking up against a wall, right? Okay. Yeah, because there's a feeling that you have to meditate on something. You do feel like you should be taking passionate action on something, but there's something holding you back, as if you have to sleep on it. You keep on saying to yourself, like there's this urge to take action forward. Sagittarian energy here, by the way. So there is something during Sagittarius season, in particular in December, or in Sagittarius individual, but this is passionate action moving forwards towards something, even creativity, like that sudden burst of creative energy. However you feel as if you have to sleep on it, as if you have to meditate. You really have to think about it, rest on the subject. Really wrap your head around it from a mindful, restful, rejuvenative space. You know, let it marinate, I guess you'll say. Moving into January, we have the Tower here, Scorpio energy. Something sudden is happening during January. Like that sideswipe energy, not necessarily a bad thing. It'll all depend on what we get when we clarify here. But during January, there is something sudden and surprising, shocking even. Could be a collapse of something, or like the reimagining of something from ground up has to happen because something just totally collapses or topples for you. The Tower. Tell us about this for Libra during January. What is this Tower? I just thought you're going to get Tower for Tower. Like the structure is going to collapse. Well, it didn't. It's the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, with the King of Pentacles in the reverse. A lack of tangible communication, lack of gift. A gift doesn't come through, a peace offering doesn't come through, a timepiece doesn't come through. King of Pentacles in the reverse, this is Taurus energy. It's something about the home space, or about not being able to preserve a comfort level within the home. Something happening in the home. This could also be about a contract, an offer, something that sustains your feeling of comfort and warmth within the home space, or provides you with stability. It's a shock to you. During January, Page of Pentacles can also be communicating the offer, because look at, this is normally in the upright, this is a guy who's coming with something of worth. Something to, you know, communicate something about your self-worth, but also can be a contract, an offer of some regard, something tangible in the real world. Here, this isn't happening. It doesn't come through. It falls through because the Tower there. And because of that, there's an uneasiness within the home space, because the King of Pentacles is about sustainability, about feeling as if one can provide themselves with it's like a reliability and an independence, and the feeling of like I said, hearth and home. Something falls through, makes you feel uneasy in your home space. And it could be something surprising that has you building from the foundation. So that's interesting. If we're dealing with the home itself, there could be something that you're dealing with real estate. Then in January it just doesn't feel right, or it's not going through the way you wanted it to, and so now you have to reevaluate and start over from scratch, and you're just not happy with it. What else? Okay, so in February, we had the Queen of Wands in the upright with the Two of Wands on the upright. So Aries energy here. A passionate, warm, nurturing, creative, feminine Aries energy, leadership, with the Two of Wands in the upright. So there's patience and delay. Slave only dreams to be king. What is it that he says at the beginning? Patience and one who delays what spirit commands, and God, or blah, blah, blah. The gods are ready to obey. Anyway, Queen of Wands with the Two of Wands. There's somebody warm and nurturing in February who's communicating to you about the value of delay, the value of patience, the value of, it's interesting because this is the Two of Wands, yet he's doing what the Two of Swords would do. Hands are crossed, except it's his mouth that's covered instead of his eyes. So it's like, hold back, don't go out guns a-blazing. Think before you speak. Delay, So you've reached an impasse, but there's this nurturing energy that's coming in and communicating to you the value of patience and thinking before you speak, and careful forethought before you do so. You're not speaking on a subject, fully understanding that there's a certain level of leadership that's associated with sitting back and watching, and a warmth in that. It's almost as if there's a firm hand leading you through something in some way. A firm, nurturing hand. Tell me more during February. Telling you to wait on something. This is like the opposite of shoot first, ask questions later. It's like wait and observe instead. Somebody telling you to sit back and wait and observe. What about it, Libra? Three cards. Oh, okay. Okay. This has to do with your independence. The Nine of Pentacles in the upright. There's also a lack of work. There feels like there's a loss of productivity. See the Six of Wands in the reverse with the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. There's a loss of productivity. There might be also a delay, or, if I really wanted to, be very blunt with you, this is losing a job. A loss, a feeling of defeat, and not really working towards mastering one's craft. Feeling as if there's a pause or a stagnancy or a standstill when it comes to honing one's skills, or apprenticeship energy that's not really flying. But this is also not working. Really, it's not working. There's working, not working, defeat and not working, losing a job, And maybe there's reactionary energy that you're not doing because you have this nurturing leadership energy that's coming in and putting the firm hand on your shoulder and saying, now wait a second, before you go off guns blazing about something, There is an independence here as well, and a reliability on the self that's important to you. You do have independence and reliability that is important to you, but also it's something that you have on your side. even though you're not really being productive, not really working, and there could be a feeling of defeat. You still have the self-reliance and the independence on your side. During March, we have the Knight of Wands. Again, this is Sagittarius energy again. So this is when you do actually spring forth with some sort of passionate action, either a burst of creative inspiration that you carry forward with you, or, you know, this could be passion that you're carrying forward, that you're finally taking action on something as if you feel ready to finally. Let's see what that is and why. The who, what, where, when, whys of it. Shuffling backwards. Okay, the moon, Cancer energy. Some people consider this a Pisces card. I always view it as the Cancer card because it's, you know, Cancer's ruled by the moon, but you know, take it for what you will. Confusion, nightmares, deception, shadows, sleeping side of tan. You're taking passionate action on something. It could be even music, minuet, you know what I mean? But it's a passionate, creative, inspired action towards the moon, towards the something going on at night. Howl at the moon. Towards something that's going on in the dark, towards the shadows. Just more towards something that you're keeping hidden in your emotions. You know, you're dropping responsibilities and burdens. You're unburdening yourself of something that troubles you at night. And you're taking fervent action towards that during March. Could also be exploring your emotions about what you're unburdening yourself of your emotions. Okay. Unburdening yourself of your emotions. Could be talking to somebody about something to do with sleep. Something to do with sleep. You might be having sleep problems with your sleep. And you've decided that's it. I'm going to do something about it. I'm taking passionate action towards that. Going to talk to somebody about it. Unburdening yourself about it. Nightmares. Something like sleep apnea, trouble sleeping. Sleep disorder of some sort. I don't know. Not sleeping, insomnia. But you're unburdening yourself of it. Or something that's keeping you up at night. In April, we have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Interesting that it is in April, because this Queen of Swords is normally a Libra card. Timing-wise, it's funny that it does this, because I've been doing this lately with all of my timings, because I'm ruled by time. I'm a Capricorn. My Queen of Swords in the reverse for me as timing would be Aries season. So during the latter half of April, you have a feeling like there's a lack of balance or equilibrium, or more focus on the self than the other in your relationships. You could also feel like there's a deep sense of injustice about something. Things aren't fair, aren't truthful, aren't balanced. Okay. Queen of Wands, there we go. With a Queen of Wands, an Aries individual, somebody's but not being fair with you, that's in a Queen of Wands. There could also be, you know, somebody who's passionate to the point of poison, or they're just so nurturing, but they could also have a really bad temper. Their leadership could be really domineering instead of simply dominant. Tell me more. Aries season for Aries season, right? Or like there's a need to focus on the self, and that you've kind of brought things out of focus and out of balance in terms of that you do need to focus more on the self. And maybe this Queen of Wands comes in to tell you that you need to focus more on yourself, because there is a lack of balance and equilibrium. It's a cutting truth, though. They're very blunt about it. Tell me more. Conversely, it could actually, it could be that they're telling you you're selfish, or you're telling them that they're selfish. With this, we have a dropping of options with the Seven of Cups in the reverse. You're taking action. You're taking action. You're coming out of an impasse. Coming out of you were at a crossroads and chose a direction, it seems, during Aries season. Dropping options. Think of this like the Indiana Jones thing where he's got all those cups in the Holy Grail thing, and he's like, oh, and then the one person, his face melts off because he chooses the wrong cup. And now you have to choose the correct cup. This is having made that choice. You know? Instead of having all these options, and one could be a cup of, delicious, hot chocolate, and one's got serpents in it, the other one's a cup of shit, you know what I mean? In the upright, we have this being, making the choice, but making the correct choice, or being discerning, I guess you could say, in realms of emotion, and taking the blindfold off and really seeing the forest for the trees, Somebody's telling you to focus on yourself, and in so doing, you're making a decision of some sort. It's emotional. Because you know that things have been off kilter and there hasn't been balance. Your choice could be governed by the difference in between people who are selfish and who aren't. Who is a leader, who isn't, who's confident, who isn't. I think it's really interesting that these timing cards keep popping up like this. Temperance in the reverse for you during May. Timing wise, this would be Gemini, of course. But if we're looking at the card itself, this is coming out of healing, emerging from healing. Also, a feeling of growing impatience with something. Sagittarian energy in the upright. Tell us, what do we see there in May for you, Libra? What is this impatience? This growing impatience because you've healed and somebody else hasn't. Somebody else hasn't done the work that you have on the self. Oops, that's a card moment. We will not take these. But we will take 3. 1, 2, 3. You're counting to 3 on something, trying to be patient, but you're done being patient, it seems. Yeah, okay. You tried to be patient. But it's time to take a risk. It's time to move forward on something. Being adventurous. Breaking out on your own on a journey of some sort. Because there hasn't been movement forward. You keep on going back. You've been going back. So let's read this as a series here. You've been growing impatient here during May with that in the reverse, the temperance in the reverse. You've been patient, but you're growing impatient because you keep on going back, singing the same old song. You keep on going back to the same old, same old. Nothing ever changes. Everything's always the same. Bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts. You understand that there's a need to begin something anew, to strike out, to be adventurous, to take a risk, to take the Fool's journey. The Fool is the depiction of the human being at the beginning of the tarot deck. That's why they're 0. They're the person who goes through all of the lessons of the archetypes of the major arcana. And their job is to take risks, to be ignorant, to learn as they go. But without adventurousness and risk-taking, they have no hope to learn. Because you actually have to take the steps on the journey. With your head looking up at the sky as opposed to on the path. So that, you can suffer those slings and arrows and learn something, right? There is still healing and patience that has to occur. You might have to kind of take some time to look at, moderation. But you're growing impatient with something because you've done the healing, and you realize it's time to, there comes a time to heal and move forward and strike out and do something new, because you've been kind of going back over things and rehashing things for so long with the Six of Swords in the reverse. In June, we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse with the Six of Cups in the reverse. You're tired of revisiting the past. You're tired of rehashing old things with old flames, people re-emerging from the past. It's almost as if they're safe for you. You're looking for honesty. You understand that, you know, things from the past, it can't always be wishes granted. But it's time to move on from the past, your deep childhood past, the beautiful, dear, innocent relationships that just didn't happen or didn't work out. You're tired of revisiting those things. And you're looking for something honest and different. The Seven of Swords is normally about treachery and deceit and hiding things, either, you know, by omission in order to kind of not hurt people, but also it does hurt people though, right? And in the reverse, it's about deciding not to no longer do that, no longer engage in that, no longer engage in hiding something, because you're looking for something new, something fresh, something different, something that isn't from the past. Still shuffling backwards though. Tell us more about this June business here. Okay. Seven of Swords in the reverse for the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Double honesty. Looking for something honest. Something that's good, something that's true. You're no longer hiding something in June? No longer hiding something in June. About failed wishes. Things in the past that did not work out for you from your childhood. And in doing this, you actually grant a wish. There is a yes card here. There's warmth in it. Leo energy. So it'll be in the latter half of June. Where there's this freedom. Look at this joyousness. There's this freedom. There's an alleviation of something here in being honest about something. Being doubly honest about something. No longer hiding something. You see here, this is almost to save people from themselves, but also to save others. And if we're doing this, if we're taking the swords away from the soldiers in the night, it's to save people from getting killed, but it's also to save the soldiers from killing themselves in battle. And in the reverse, you know, he's still sneaking away in the night. Here there's something about not doing things under the cover of night, not doing things where nobody can see, doing everything out in the open and being like completely honest, shedding light on something. But there's this joyousness because in doing so you're finally free. And in addition to that, with also being free, you're also granting your wish or the wish of another. It's something fresh, new, warm. There's a tension that's going to come from it because it's like, yeah, look at me, woo. But at the same time, there's this, like, he's so joyful. He's joyful in this. The sun can be scorching, but it can also be illuminating. You're illuminating something. What is this? What are you illuminating? What are you illuminating that you're no longer hiding during June, Libra? Choice in love. This is a Gemini card, but it's a choice in love. There's a lover. And you're making a choice on it. You're no longer hiding your feelings for somebody, or that you'd like to choose them, your intentions more than anything. You're no longer cowering away. It's like I said, 2 hearts, Kylie Minogue, and it's like, she just keeps on, it's like a declarative thing, right? She's like, I'm in love, you know what I mean? And I think that's really what this is saying. And that's really cool. July for you. 4 cups. And this is that depressive, look at him. He's bummed out. It's a depressive, lackadaisical feeling. The feeling as if one, it's like like when they talk about depression, they talk about lack of interest, even the cups from the universe, never mind the cups that other people are presenting them, they just don't care, So there's something that's a bummer during July for you, where you're just not paying attention to the things that once brought you joy just really aren't right now. Your light has been dimmed. Why? During July. Why during July has your light been dimmed? What's going on? I almost wanted to jump out. I'm trying to use these more so that they're not so slick, It's a really flimsy. I should have not gotten the, I should have got the cardstock version of this instead of the foil version of this, because it's pretty. It's, it's shiny, but it's hard to maneuver. Tower in reverse with Hermit in reverse. A deep personal truth has emerged for somebody. Virgo energy, Scorpio energy. Opposites would be Taurus. Why is it just giving me Taurus, Pisces? So they sandwich Aries, but anyway, somebody's emerged from the cave of self-discovery, having learned a deep personal truth that might be rather shocking. It actually isn't that surprising for you with it in the reverse. It's something that you kind of knew. You knew was coming. You could feel it in your bones. It's like Love Actually. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of feeling. You kind of knew. You knew it was coming. And it's got you kind of in a depressed space. Or somebody else. You could be encountering somebody else who's just in that lack of interest. You could feel their lack of interest. You could feel that they were just kind of, not really in it. Not really into it. Apologies. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's love. But you could feel their lack of interest in something, that they're bummed out about something, and you could tell that they had this like personal dialogue going on within themselves. So that's why it's not necessarily super shocking that when they come out with this personal truth, but more than likely it's just about they have something that they've been having an internal dialogue about. And when the revelation hits, you're like, yeah, I kind of knew that already, so it's not such a major collapse. During August, there is triumph, success, achievement of some sort for you. This is the 6 of Wands. It's when the guy comes riding into town with the victory banners after battle. What is this victory during August? It's a feeling of winning out. I love that these are coming out this fast, though, to be honest with you. It has to do with something that you didn't really expect, simply because you didn't actually put that much stock in it. You didn't invest a lot of energy in it, or you felt like it was a bad investment at the time. It's an offer that fell through initially with the 3 of Pentacles in the reverse, and it's something that you initially had walked away from, but it's returning onto the scene for you. Check that out. Yeah. It didn't have a whole lot of effort put into it, or they were bad seeds. You planted the seeds, the growth didn't happen. There was no offer. It seemed like a bum deal. Like there was no friendship there. There was no, unity. didn't feel like it was a holistic thing, you know. And then, but it's coming back around for another go. You feel like you've won, though, in some way. Do you feel like you've won because you can see this for what it is and you're glad that you didn't take up an offer? Because you could see that somebody didn't invest the appropriate level of effort or interest or energy, and they're coming back around because they can see that you're winning something? Or is it, I kind of feel like it's chicken egg on that one. Like you're finally winning at something because you can see that, you know, that you did the right thing and that you kind of knew that it wasn't going to work out, and now they're coming back around and you're like, oh, it's kind of like when you see that dude that you broke up with at one time and he don't look so great and you're like, oh shit, I really dodged a bullet on that one. Do you know, like that? Yeah, kind of seems like that. There's a winning energy to it, though. The feeling as if you really, you came out on top, you triumphed because it didn't work out. It is, but it is coming back around with that Eight of Cups in the reverse. It's coming back around to see if you actually you know, went for that Nine of Cups, for that self-worth piece, for a better personal fulfillment, because it clearly didn't find it for itself, whatever energy that is. I don't know. In September, you have the Nine of Wands here. There's a feeling of like, I don't want to use the word victimhood, but it's almost as if being on the verge of success yet tired of the struggle. Chick's been chopping down so many, you know, things with that side, just trying to get through, and you know, it's like, damn, how many more of these can I have to chop down? I got, you know, nicks and scrapes, and I'm over it. But it's the effort, the pushing forward, despite. Sometimes with the Nine of Wands, there is also this feeling of feeling sorry for oneself, tired of the struggle, yet continuing on. You know, the guy who has to push the boulder and continue pushing the boulder and continue pushing the boulder and bitches the entire time that it's a super heavy boulder. But he's almost there, you know. Tell us more about this one. Oh. Yeah, we're back in that lack of interest, that depression feeling. That feeling of grief, abandonment, loss, and betrayal. But it's more of a sadness, more of a self-pitying feeling. Like, and not being able to see that they're not actually not being, it's not that you don't see the emotional connections and the love that's there for you and the things that you do have. It's more that you just don't care at this moment. There's so much work that you're taking on from a creative, passionate space, and so many battles that you're taking on, so many irons in the fire, and it's as if all of these cups don't have the appreciation for the amount of struggle, work, passion, dedication, and the need to the amount of grit, thank you, grit, that's been required for you to continue pushing forward to get to the Nine of Wands. From, you know, the Ace of Wands, which is just the idea, just the matchstick of the divine to get to that 9. And so all of these cups that you have, all of this adulation, all of that stuff, it's like even the one that's being extended to you from the universe here, it's like, yeah, but like, do they have any respect for what it took? You know, it's like that wounded warrior thing that people talk about with the 9. Yeah, here you are again. You're feeling imbalanced. This could be actual depression. Feeling imbalanced. Feeling like somebody might even be dishonest with you. There's a feeling of injustice here. Like you've pulled your, thank you, you've pulled your weight. During September, you feel like you've pulled so much of your weight and maybe even the weight of others along the road, and you're tired. You're so tired you can't even appreciate emotional connections for what they are, because it's like you're consistently pushing forward and pulling people along and pulling yourself along, and it gets heavy, gets to be a lot. Yeah, a lack of balance and equilibrium in that, and you could actually lash out at people with a silver tongue about it, saying, you know, do you know what this took? Can you even appreciate the level of effort that I've had to put into things, you know? Kind of feeling like it's like pulling teeth. You're having to pull other people along, and it's hard enough to move yourself around, never mind pull other people along with you. There's this physical heaviness. But it feels like you're also having to push people to do stuff and pull people to do stuff, and you're also having to motivate yourself. So it's like I'm tired of having to motivate. Yeah, it's like I can hear the conversation. I'm tired of having to motivate myself, and that's difficult enough as it is. Never mind having to put on a shit-eating grin and motivate other people too, when I barely have the ability to motivate myself. It doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem just. You're having a hard time connecting with yourself. There will be a focus on the self moving into October here with the Fool. We see a lot of Aries timings here. Something you're thinking about from Aries season. Or Aries season. The Fool. October comes along and you're thinking about risk-taking, adventurousness, beginning a journey of some sort, or beginning something again, or starting something with fresh energy. He's even packed his guitar with him, you know. Let's see, what is it during October for Libra? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Tell me what this is. What is this journey? Oh, that's a lot of card vomit. Sorry. We got two that stayed over here. There's no poeticism in it. You know, it's not about it's not about writing love songs and love letters. Not about being the knight in shining armor. Not about rescuing anybody. Not about rescuing somebody from their misfortunes. You're trying to get the wheel to move forward because it had halted for you. And during October, you feel stagnancy, so you're trying to burst forward. What else? What else? Tell me more. You're not feeling very romantic. The romanticism isn't there. It's not about romanticism. You're not lost in the romanticism of something. You're not trying to be a knight in shining armor. Not trying to do that kind of thing. What are you doing? Tell us, Libra. What are you trying to do? What is it? What is this journey? You're embarking on a new journey because things have felt stagnant, and you've felt an absence of poeticism, an absence of romanticism for yourself. So you're breaking out, you're trying to do things with a fresh effervescence, fire instead of water, passion and creativity and inspiration instead of emotion and waters. you know? What is it? Okay. Because there have been endings off the heels of an ending where there has been betrayal and healing has been needed. Could have also been sickness. You might have been sick or not feeling well, being under the weather. There's a need for healing something. There's a deep, bad ending, so there must be a beginning. I feel like this is a betrayal, though. A betrayal caused you to feel like there has been stagnancy. No, like your life has been void up until this October coming up after this one, like the 2026 one. Like there's been stagnancy with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And then the Knight of Cups in the reverse. You've just kind of shut off from romanticism and poeticism because of a betrayal or an ending that's caused you sickness. Speed of Pain by Marilyn Manson. I wish that I could sleep, but I can't lay on my back because there's a knife for every day that I've known you. So there's a bursting forward, an adventurousness, a risk taking, the need to embark on a new journey, to even travel. I mean, it might even be, but there's a need to kind of go on the road less traveled. It's like you feel like if you burst forth and do that, like it's that huge burst forward in the focus on the self. To kind of get things moving again, because you feel like your life has been devoid of any sort of forward movement, luck and love, romanticism, poeticism. You haven't had that. You haven't felt moved to it. You've been kind of sitting on the sidelines because of an ending that was deeply painful. But you've been contemplating for some time how to do something about it. And during your next birthday season, I feel like that's going to change for you. Yeah, check that out. Cancer energy. You've had the lid on that cup for a long time. And you've been keeping yourself locked up as far as sharing those waters. I mean, that's a protective thing, right? The Queen of Cups knows when to share her waters, and she knows when to keep them locked up tight and protect her heart space intuitively. This is also a warning, though, at the same time, during this year coming up, to be more discerning about what is intuition and what is we think it's our intuition, but it's actually our anxieties keeping us, preventing us from growing and moving forward. Okay. All right. No bullshit advice for you from the Oracle deck. I can't believe I did this in almost just under an hour. Wow. I might clarify with this deck for everybody. Who knows? Libra has no bullshit advice. I don't know about anybody else, but I've been like under the weather for like a month and a half too. Snivels, coughing. So it's about time to get my booster shots and all that wonderful stuff. Okay, tell us what we need to know. What is your no bullshit advice? Libra. Oh. We got 3 for you. What do we got? Love. That's funny. Give some. Or no, get some, give some. It will cheer your ass up. Yeah, you're a little depressed. Might not even really realize it, right? Stop fucking whining. No one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world, so do it. You might be saying that to somebody else. Libras don't really strike me as whiners. So you are giving too many facts. Give 0. Awesome. I like that. Okay, and magnetic poetry message for you. What do we have? I know, I'm pulling out all the stops, aren't I? I don't normally do this much stuff in a reading. S. That's a really, doesn't really, it's not very telling, is it? And let's get your signs and what signs you'll be dealing with and numbers of significance, and then we'll be out of here. I can do them all at once. Oh, well. Okay, so we have Aquarius and the number 5, which signifies change. 9, 7, 2. Leo, Pisces. And, oh, we should shake this one too. And Virgo. Okay, that's what I have for you, Libra. Happy birthday, and glad I could get this reading in before the end of your whole season. Okay, we'll see when we see you next. And yeah, do you. Okay. Bye. And look at this mess. Yeah, this is an organized mess for sure. All right. Okay. Bye.